Then she says, are you a virgin? You young girls, I know what you people can be doing now in this Lagos, moving up and down, sleeping with men. Now, fast forward after visiting the different places we visited in Lagos. On this fateful day, we come back from the market, trade fair market to be precise. So we got into the house that day at about 7:38, about 8ish, something like that. So I was like, oh, what a long day. Let me go and shower. Family members, the moment I walk into the toilet, I realize I'm bleeding. Now, for no reason was I supposed to bleed. I'm just like, what's happening here? Heavy bleeding. And I was like, okay, let me just see how it goes. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the hospital. Let me just monitor it for the night. So I shower up and dress up. Family members, in the space of 30 minutes, the blood I lost, was a lot. Like, I don't even want to go into the details of it, but you all just know that it was a lot of blood. I mean, I changed like 4 to 5 times. That should tell you the amount of blood I lost. So I got scared. I mean, it freaked me out. I'm like, why is this happening? Mind you, it was not supposed to be my period. I just had my period like 8 days before, so it could not be my period or anything. So I got freaked out. I pick up my phone. I called my friend. I'm like, please tell me which hospital is around here. I need to go to the hospital. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. And then he directs me to one particular hospital. So I get my phone. I book a ride. So that was like about 9 p.m. at the dot. I walk into the hospital. I sat at the receptionist. The guard told me to wait for him to go and call the nurse who was on duty to come out. He said she had gone upstairs to go and administer some drugs. So she was going to come back down and attend to me, right? So I sat there waiting for the nurse. She came down at about, after like 15 minutes, she came down and then she was like, yes. And then I tell her, good evening, ma'am. I mean, it's a young girl, though, but I was just like, good evening, ma. I want to consult. And then, the girl looks at me like, you know, this kind of shock. In my head, I'm like, why is she shocked that I want to consult? And then she's like, at this time, in my head, I'm like, people don't fall sick at night. I don't get it. I mean, is that not why the hospital is open at night? And then she just like, she calls the guard. Please just lock that gate, lock that gate. We're no longer taking patients for consultations. So after she said at this time that way, I now looked at her and I said with all boldness, you know, like, yes. Like, I did not stutter. I don't know if she was expecting that I was going to fear and say, but the truth is that I was there to consult because I did not know what was happening to me. So I needed them to consult me and then run some tests to be able to explain to me why I was bleeding all of a sudden. She walks out on me. She leaves me standing there. She walks out on me and she's grumbling to herself. No. I did not even care to hear what she was saying. She goes into the nurse's station. She comes out and then she walks up to me saying that you have to pay 10,000 naira. Is the attitude in which she said it, like 5,000 to buy a file and 5,000 for consultation. And then she was like, can you afford it? So I was like, okay, fine, yes, I'll pay for it. And then she walks in, she's like, go and sit down. I don't know if I disrupted that girl's evening or she was just having a bad evening. I don't know. Anyway, she tells me to sit down and then she's like, see the account number there, transfer. I'm like, okay. She has brought out the file, though. She brought out the file. She placed it on the table, put a pen, but she wasn't writing anything. So sitting there, I was still losing blood. I mean, I had already sent the bank details for my friend to do the transfer for me. Mind you, I do not have a Nigerian bank account, so some other person only had to do the transaction for me. So I sent it to him, and he was like, he's transferring it. So I told her, like, please, can you start this whole process already? They are transferring the money. And she's like, no, until the money comes. So I started patiently. My friend finally sends the money and I'm like, okay, they have sent it, check your account. And then she checks, she sees it, and then she starts filling the form now. She asks for my name, all this basic information. And then she has to take my vitals, right? I was wearing a pullover on me. Mind you, it was in the night. I left the house in the night, so I was wearing a pullover on me. I don't know if this is normal or what, but in Cameroon, if they want to take your BP, right, the black stuff they put on your hand and then they pump it, it swells up, then it starts deflating, to take your BP, right? It's always like on your skin. That's what happens to me most of the time. If I was in Cameroon, like my normal reaction, right, is to start taking out the pullover for them to do that. So that's what I started doing out of reflex. Once I saw her bringing out the BP stuff, so I started taking out the pullover. She was like, "That's fine." The attitude this girl gave me, she was like, "That's fine." I was like, "I shouldn't take it off." She was like, "No." And then she just takes my hand in a very rude manner, and then she starts wearing the black stuff on my hand. In my head, I'm like, how will you get to read this? I hope this thing will be okay. The reading will be actually accurate, because I've never gone to the hospital and they have to read BP with me wearing a pullover on it. So from that moment that she took my BP with that pullover, I just started being skeptical about everything in there, right? Everything she was even doing. Then she tells me I'll have to see the doctor. She went to the doctor's office, probably briefed her about my file and everything, and then told me to come in. And then I greeted her, "Good evening, ma." And she answered me, and then she was like, "Okay, what brings you to the hospital this night?" And then I explained to her, like, okay, this was happening. All of a sudden I'm bleeding. And she was like, "Why?" That was like the funniest why I've received in a while. In my head, I'm like, if I knew why I was bleeding, will I be here? If I knew why I was bleeding, I would have solved the problem. I would have not come here, right? But I was just like, I don't know. She was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "Nothing. I haven't done anything." She asked me, "Have you been stressed?" I was like, "I've not been stressed." So she's not right. And then she says, "Are you a virgin? You young girls." Like, she did not even give me the opportunity to answer her. She just goes on, "You young girls, I know what you people can be doing now in this Lagos. Moving up and down, sleeping with men." That was so funny, because it was a judgment that came with it for a medical doctor for me, because I'm like, you haven't even asked me the question and given me the opportunity to answer. I haven't even answered you. You already got on and on judging the fact that I'm a young girl. Lagos young girls, what Lagos young girls walk about doing. And I just sat there. I was just quiet. I was just looking at her. So she just goes on and starts saying, "Who did you give your virginity to? Who did you give it to? Could you not wait for your husband? Now see, I've not even answered you. You don't even know if I'm a virgin or not. You're already telling me Lagos young girls." At that point, I got so pissed, but I just did not want to react. So I was trying to keep my composure, maintain my steeze and composure. So I just started looking at her while she was talking about Lagos young girls, what they do in Lagos and all of that. So after she was done talking, she was like, "Now you spend money to discover the cause of this bleeding, eh? We'll have to do you an echography, because I cannot tell what you have gone and done, what you've put your hand into." And we go and drink water, go and buy water outside. You have to drink water, you have to be pressed before we do you the echography. And I'm like, okay. I did not bother to ask any further questions. I was really pissed at this point. I'm so pissed that I even lost all these clips, because you guys would have heard her saying all of these things, because I was actually vlogging, but I wasn't showing her face, of course. I was showing my face, but you could get her voice from the other side while she was saying all those things. So I went there, I bought the water, I drank. So on coming back to the hospital, I stayed outside just drinking the water, because I wanted fresh air. So after I was there for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes, something like that, I now felt like urinating. So I walked into the hospital, right, to tell the nurse, like, "Please, can you go and tell your doctor I want to urinate." So she does the echography. And then the nurse is just like, "Where have you been?" I said I was outside. She was like, "You have to pay some money here. The doctor has written some drugs that you have to buy." In my head, I was just like, she's writing me drugs I have to buy. That what's she treating me for? We haven't even done the echography and you're already writing me drugs I have to buy. Did you not say you don't know what I'm suffering from? You don't know what's causing it. So you have to first of all do a scan to check before you can say anything. So what are you actually treating me for? So at that point, I asked the nurse, like, drugs. The doctor told me to go and buy water to drink so I could come and do an echography. So how come she's writing drugs that I have to buy already? I mean, they prescribe drugs at the end of the consultation, right? After she has interpreted the results and everything. That was what I was expecting. But she was like, I don't know why you're asking me, but this is this thing. You have to first of all even pay this money before they even want to do the echography, and you must pay the money for the echography and the drugs. She was speaking in such a rude manner. Mind you, I was already pressed at this point. I just wanted to get it done and over with. So I didn't even have the energy to be answering her for the back and forth. So I just brought out my phone, sent the account details again, and told my friend to transfer the money to them. And I just rushed to the doctor's office by myself. I wasn't even waiting for that nurse again. I mean, I was really fed up with her attitude she was giving me. I knocked the doctor's office. The doctor herself didn't even ask me if I've paid the money or not. She just asked me, are you feeling pressed? I said yes. She was like, okay, let's go to the echography room. She took me to another room. So I went there, laid on the bed, and then she puts the gel on my stomach and she starts doing all of that. There is a screen in front of me that I'm supposed to be seeing what she's also seeing with the monitor, right? The echography monitor. I'm supposed to be seeing it, but the screen came on and then it went off because the power supply could not carry the screen. She starts apologizing like, I'm sorry, the screen is going off, it's not steady, you're supposed to be seeing what I'm seeing, but you know the gen cannot carry everything. I was like, okay, that's fine, I don't even need to see, provided you are seeing and you can interpret, fine and good. She's like, I cannot say anything that is wrong. Oh, I cannot really say anything that is wrong. I thought it was fibroid because it's fibroid that will make a woman bleed like this, but I'm not seeing everything. This womb looks normal. This is a very, very normal womb. I don't know what can be causing you. All I'm seeing is that there is some more blood wanting to come out. I just like they're looking at her like. Another male doctor walks in. I think he was trying to attend to one woman who was in labor because he walks in with face masks, gloves, with blood on his hands and all of that. So it's like the woman she had not yet to give him birth. So he walks in asking her like, did she do run a particular test on that lady who was in labor before? Apparently it was their steady client also. And then she answered him, I've even forgotten. Then she calls the doctor. She was like, doctor, please come and check with your own eyes if you're seeing anything wrong in this echography. The doctor now walks into the room proper. He greets me. I return the greetings, and then he looks at the screen and then he's twisting his eyes like, I'm not seeing anything wrong. I'm not seeing anything wrong with this echography. This is like a very normal womb. Then she asks him, do you see any fibroid? And the doctor is like, no, there's no fibroid in that womb. And then she was like, okay, thank you very much. Then the doctor walks out. So that's just in my head, like she's trying to get a second opinion, right? So then she was like, I don't just know, I'm still seeing some more blood trying to come out. So at this point, what we'll do is that I'll just give you some drugs to stop the bleeding. The only thing I can think of again that could cause this is hormonal imbalance. But hormonal imbalance test, you'll not be able to afford it, so you just go home. If I heard, I'm like, she has not even told me the cost of the hormonal imbalance test, so but she has already judged me to say I will not be able to afford it. I mean, since I walked into your hospital, all the bills you guys have given me, I have paid without complaining. So why would you not just conclude for me and say I cannot afford hormonal imbalance test? At that point, I was just looking at her like, this is a big hospital. I mean, if I can tell you that they have upstairs and downstairs, it's not like any church and bay hospital. It's like a proper clinic, gated, is by the road, it's big. I mean, they look like, it's not like they are suffering or it's not like they are struggling. The place itself looks like it's a sane place, for lack of better words. She now says, you'll not be able to afford the hormonal balance test, so I'll just give you drugs to just stop the bleeding. You just go home because I know you cannot afford the hormonal imbalance test. But that's like the only thing I can guess what's causing the bleeding again. And even if I want to do the hormonal imbalance test, it will not come out this night. It will come out only around 3 days after. So you just go. And then she starts speaking like she's in a hurry. Actually, she was actually hurrying because she had to go and meet the other doctor who was in the delivery room with that woman. It's like she had to go and assist him also. She said, nurse, come and finish with her and send her home. And then she runs and goes to the delivery room. I understand that the other woman was in labor. That's a priority. So they needed many hands on deck and all of that. So while the nurse is not attending to me, she starts grumbling. And she's frowning her face. She's like, sit here, let me come. This nurse keeps me waiting for like 45 minutes, just sitting. Then she comes back and then she's like, I have to give you an injection in your bum first. Then she's moving up and about. In my head, I'm like, what are you even looking for? She goes and gets the injection. She brings it out and then she's like, we're not even going to go anywhere. Just stand here and take out your clothes. Let me just put in your bum. So funny. So she injects me, and after she was done injecting me, then that's when she asks me, are you allergic to anything? Hey, Elomo. Mind you, the doctor asked me while I was doing consultation with her, right? She asked me if I had taken any drugs like of late, and I told her that the only drug I had taken was an allergy medicine that I took like 2 weeks ago. I'm just like, so you will not ask me first before giving me this? So what if this injection and my allergies do not go? What if you're not supposed to give this injection to somebody who is allergic for this particular thing? What happens then? And then I asked her what kind of allergy exactly. She was like, allergy to anything. You know, some people, they are not supposed to give them some injections when they are allergic to some particular things. Sorry, I forgot to ask you before giving you the injection. That's how she was like. She was explaining this with. You know when somebody's not remorseful for something, like she was saying this thing. She was not even looking at me. She was moving about and doing other things. And I was really filled with so much anger. Like, you did not even ask me for, and then you're not even apologetic. I mean, there's a way that you will say it, and I will not even feel offended, right? You should even say like, "Where, ma, sorry, I forgot to ask you, like, are you allergic to something? I hope you are not allergic to anything. Oh, sorry, you know, I'm so busy, so I forgot to ask you." There's a way you will say it, but she was saying it like with so much authority, like she has done something right. Like, even if somebody is not sorry for doing something wrong, right? She was just saying, and then she was going about her other activities like it's okay. What if she was talking like that and then I just collapsed there? Like, you have given me wrong injection, I just fall and just collapse. What will you say? Or the worst happens even I fall down and die, because like, would you still have that same countenance? Won't you be sorry? So at that point, I was really so pissed. I just told her, like, give me my medications, I want to leave. So this was already getting to 12 midnight. She comes back in, she hands me over a nylon. And then I open it, I see tablets in this small wrappers. It's been a while I even saw those small wrappers. I mean, we do them as well in Cameroon. We used to do them as well, but it's been a very long time I went to the hospital and they gave me tablets in that piece of wrapper, right? What usually happens in Cameroon of recent, all the hospitals have been going to of recent, right? They give you they write the names of the drugs and then you go and buy at the pharmacy. It comes in like its pack, right? That's what I was kind of expecting. So she brings the drugs in this small nylons. And then I'm looking at her like, why are they coming like that? She's like, that's how they give medications here. I really wanted the drugs to be given to me in their original packs so that I could even read the packs, because I read the leaflets a lot before taking drugs. I always try, like, this is something that my father does a lot, so he has kind of like instilled that in us. So I just wanted to read the leaflets of the drugs so that I'm aware of maybe the possible side effects and all of that, because they did not have time to explain to me. Let me even show you guys the nylon I got. So this is the nylon it came in. This is like the hospital's branded nylon, and then the medications came in like these packs. Like, you all know this hospital things that they put drugs, and then they had like a couple of different drugs in here, tablets, different color, red, yellow, white, a bunch of them, like 5 of these wrappers with different tablets in them. So yes, that's about it for my Nigerian hospital experience. Now, I'm not here to say that all hospitals in Nigeria act like this, so no, I'm not here to say this particular hospital, this was just the case for this particular hospital. I mean, I have been to another hospital in Nigeria. When Stacey was sick, right, I went to another hospital there, and I had a totally different experience from this one. The hospital we went to with Stacey, that hospital was so nice. I mean, the nurses, I mean, the moment they saw Lawrence struggling with Stacey from outside, they ran towards him, tried to assist him, to hold Stacey, to support her, to move right to the doctor's office. I mean, the nurses in that hospital were very, very nice. They were so nice. Right up to the doctor. The doctor was a young guy. He was so nice. He was friendly. I mean, he was chatty. He was accommodating, basically. And even after the test and everything, the people there were nice, basically. So I'm not here to say I've not experienced good people. I mean, if you watch that was like my first ever Nigerian trip. So everything good happened to me during that trip. I cannot even lie. Like, I met good Nigerians in that trip, had beautiful experience about Nigeria. I mean, everything was just a check on that trip. I felt like that had to happen for God to tell me, like, come back to this country. So I was disappointed with this hospital's reaction, because I mean, if we're going by the building and the way it looked like a bigger hospital compared to that hospital where we took Stacy to. I just want to make excuses for them, like maybe they were just tired that night. At the end of the day, I just told my sister, oh yeah, pack your things, so let's pack and be going home. Oh. If anything wants to happen to me, it should happen to me, my father's land. They should not have to transport me. Anything should happen, it should happen in Cameroon. So we left Nigeria